Temple won the game 30-16. Up next for the Knights will be this Saturday against Houston at Bright House Network Stadium. That will be a noon Eastern time start, televised on ESPN News. Coach, thank you for joining us today. If you would take a minute to tie up the trip to Philadelphia and the game against Temple, and then we expect to see you return home to face Houston, please, on Saturday.
Well, it was. I think Temple made plays when they had to make them, and obviously they're a talented football team that have come a long way in the 3 years. You see the growth of that team. It's done a nice job coaching with them and getting those kids to execute on defense and offense. But it was a game that we had opportunities there. We didn't take advantage of them from a field position standpoint, and the result is when you're up, you got to stop people, and you can't let people drive the ball on you and stuff without making some stops. And but we showed improvement in some areas that we need to show improvement. We're getting some kids back from injury this week, so hopefully things will get better.
We'll take questions for Coach O'Leary. Please star 1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll go first to Dennis Dodd at CBSSports.com.
Hey, George, you've been through what Houston, Memphis, and Temple are going through right now, undefeated seasons and national darlings. What does that do for a program, and what advice would you give those coaches right now just to seal the deal?
Well, I think the big thing that they need to do is just worry about the next game and not worry about anything ahead of time. And sometimes, fan base and other people do, but you got to keep your team in check as far as that. As I always said, Dennis, you have 12 one-game seasons, and the next season is the most important season, and that's the biggest thing is that you don't look ahead and stuff, and you keep people on target with that, because I think the American Conference is playing very well right now. The teams that are undefeated, and great win by Memphis. So I mean, it was I'm happy to see that. I think it's only going to help the conference and the growth of the conference itself.
I just wonder what you thought of the concept of, I guess it's whatever it is, 55 of these schools playing for one spot. Again, you were kind of in that spot yourself. Is that fair?
Right. Well, no, I don't think it is. I think many of the teams that are, especially the teams in that group of 5 that are undefeated right now, would do very well against most of these other schools that have more of an opportunity. But again, I think eventually, and I don't know when, they'll probably expand that playoff, and I think when they do, there'll be more slots available.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll go next to Mark Narducci at Philadelphia Inquirer.
Coach, just wanted to know, you had played so well for 3 quarters against Temple. Was it just an experience factor that did it in the fourth quarter?
Well, no, we just had opportunities there that, you had the ball in the 20, the 29, and the 41 going in, and you come away with 3 points. That's missed opportunities. And then, defensively, I thought we tackled well for 3 quarters, and the fourth quarter, we didn't tackle well, and it's 22-16, you got to stop people, and we didn't do that. And give Temple credit, they took advantage of that and ended up, pushing the score. But I think the big thing was that it was the score was not an indicator of the game. It was a good football game. They obviously Temple's undefeated for a reason. I think they have a lot of experience on their team, and it showed.
Coach, one other thing, you've been ranked before. Does it put extra pressure on your team?
No, I think as a coach, you got to make sure that they worry about the next game. That's it. Don't worry about anything in the future. Let the fan base and media and everybody else do that. I think your team needs to concentrate on the team at hand and the team you're going to play. And I think as long as you keep that in check, we'll be fine. It's going to be interesting because there's some really big games coming up in the future of the schedule as far as the American Conference, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out top and stuff. But I think there's some very good teams right now playing very good football.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll go next to Dan Tortor at Dan Tortor Broadcast Media.
Hi, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Dan.
To look at this 0-7 start for you, I know obviously you're keen in on a lot of different things, and knowing that injuries happen and there's a lot of youth on the team. So where have you seen improvement at this point?
Well, I've seen defensive improvement in each game as far as when they get a little bit more reaction time has been quicker. I think we're closing quicker to things we have to close to as far as the ball is concerned. So I think that's gotten better. I think for the most part, special teams has been steady, all right? And I think offensively is where we really have to make the big jump. I think quarterback is doing some very good things, but he has a lot of missed opportunities because of drop balls and stuff of that sort, which you can't do at this level. So that's the area that we have to really improve on is that area there, and just missed opportunities. When you have the opportunities to make a play, you got to make it.
And then as far as looking at the conference as a whole, you had spoken from day one about standing by the conference and Mike Oresco and everything that he dreams about and has planned for getting this team, every team in the national spotlight. So just what you can say about some of the coaches around you in the American and where you think this conference is at, despite the fact that obviously you struggle a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think I've been there, so I know, but I think the big thing is that I've said right from day one, I thought there's some very good coaches in the conference. I said, everything takes a little bit of time to get things maneuvering, but I think right now you have, 3 or 4 teams that are playing very, very well in the conference that, basically have made people have taken notice of the American Conference because of it. And again, I think it's the conference is growing to what Mike has said it would be, a very competitive conference that, you see the good coaching going on, you see the competitiveness in the games, and I think it'll be interesting to see who shows up in the conference championship game. But again, we've done well at a conference and better than we have done, so it's improving each year. And I think the confidence of the American Conference itself is just throughout the country has picked up as far as people know in the American Conference.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Coach, we thank you for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
Thank you very much.